Hello, everyone. My name is Yelena. I'm Cognos Analytics Administrator. Tonight is our second session. Here is the agenda. We're going to talk about the dashboard, right? We're going to talk about the stories. I'm going to talk to you about the group work, what you're going to do. And I'm going to show you where you find the samples, dashboard and stories, and of course, questions and answers, all right? So let's get started. Do you remember we were using claims and weather data? This is the same data that we used in the last session and also in the videos that hopefully you've been watching and enjoying. So basically the data tracks the customer information, including the country where they're in, which is US, right? The state, and etc. It tracks the vehicle information, what type of car the customer drives, what type of policy the customer has, insurance policy. And based on that, we are predicting the total claim amount, right? And it was, as you remember, vehicle class was the most important predictor of total claim amount, right? So this is a partial data screenshot. Now I'm pretending to be you. I pretend that I did my assignment 3 and I'm ready for assignment 4 to do the presentation of my findings, okay? Okay? Oh, the sound is not clear? I'm trying. How about now? Better? I'll try to speak slowly. Can you hear me better now? I try slowly. Okay, okay. So this is partial screenshot of the data. See? Okay. Next thing. Do you remember what we did last time? We did data pre-processing. So we noticed that if effective to date is not available, we remove all rows altogether where effective to date is missing. How did we do that? We applied the embedded filter, right? Then we defined another filter. If I want to look at personal policy type for small cars, right? Personal policy type for small vehicle, right? Then we looked at the missing values column and we replaced the missing values with average of a column. Only thing that I adding here is the rounding. I'm adding rounding function, where what it does is it says if there are multiple digits after the decimal point, it's just gonna round, right? Just doing that. Then another column is monthly premium values, had missing values, and I did the same thing. There is a video where you showed how to replace the missing claim reason with other. Some records missing claim reason. And if the value is missing, you're gonna treat it as other. There is a video that shows you how to do that. Okay, what else did we do last time? We created another column that number of policies. We created data group because the column was skewed. So I said, for example, if I said 8 or above, right? Instead of having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm doing this as groups. We created data groups as well as for you can create data group for numeric column and for categorical. You remember that, right? So another thing that I did was the total claim amount. We want to change it to average. I want to look at average claim amount per state, perhaps, right? I don't want to look at the sum of all claims, right? And if you remember, this is what the data looks like. I'm opening data module just to show you. This is what the data looks like. And what is this? Remember, we had standalone calculation, right? It's an average income, overall average income, right? So that's a group, right? I created a data group where all personal policy type grouped under personal or corporate grouped under corporate, etc. And I added the rounding. See this? Right? This is overall average income, and for some columns I added the rounding. Okay, let's close this for a minute. Now, remember we did data exploration. Here is a data exploration. What did we do here? We tried to get the insights. For example, we looked at decision trees, we looked at the spiral visualization, right? We looked at driver analysis, etc. But here the problem is there is no way to present it. How am I going to present bunch of this to my customer, right? Is there a way to select perhaps one state and make all visualizations adjusted for that state? No, you can't do that here, right? Is there a way to kind of like navigate through these visualizations? No, there is no way to group them. There is no way to filter all of them, right? So what this is leading to is a new topic. It's going to lead us to what? Dashboards. So why do we create dashboards? We create them to present the insight. What is this? You can add, you can specify how things look like. Remember, everything is blue. I cannot change my color here much, right? At dashboard, you can change color. You can add attractive layout. You can change how visualizations appear, okay? You can group, you decide which visualizations show on the same tab. You may reuse visualization. You may toggle between edit mode and the view mode, right? And there is a similarity to data exploration where you may create navigation paths and you may add calculations. But if you add calculation to the dashboard directly, that calculation will be unavailable everywhere else. It will only be available in that dashboard. If you want calculation to be available everywhere where you use that data, you need to add the calculation per data module, okay? Now, so how do we create new dashboards? We're gonna go to the data, right? You have to find the data. Oops, here is the data. And what I need to do here, oops, that's not the data, this is the exploration. I need to find the data. Data is where? In my content, right? So I'm gonna find, this is my data module, for example. What I need to do is I click here. This will open context menu. From the context menu, I need to select create dashboard, okay? Now, there are two types of dashboards, tabbed and infographic. Tabbed dashboard is a single long page, okay? But I'm sorry, infographic is a long page. Tab consists of multiple tabs, right? We're gonna use tab because tabbed dashboard can be converted into a story. So for this class, we're gonna use tab dashboard, okay? Then with tab, you can apply a filter to specific tab or to all visualization, okay? So here it is. But what it is, take a look. There are different templates. There are free-form templates, right? So here I showed you, I talked about this, right? But both are interactive. You may use predefined layout template. You may change how they appear and etc. Right? But that's a similarity and a difference. But see, tab dashboard can be saved as a story. We're gonna do it tonight, okay? Both are interactive. You may preview the data being visualized. You may reuse visualization, okay? Now, but what's the difference here? There are different layouts. Predefined template will resize based on your screen size. Consists of panel. Each panel is a placeholder for visualization, okay? So this is called relative positioning. But the free form is there is no predefined design. Okay, you just place. It's a free form, but you may need to scroll. Okay, the area is not divided into sections. It's an absolute position. Okay, just remember it's not gonna resize. Okay, now of course there are many out of the box templates, but which one do I like? I like 2x2. Why? The more stuff you put, the longer it's gonna take to load. Okay, so 2x2 is what I like. I'm gonna choose that. Okay, all right. So what do I see in here? By default, it's named new dashboard. Is it descriptive name? No, right? What does this asterisk mean? It means that my latest change is not saved. Remember? So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna click on a save. Important, you're gonna need to select my content, right? And you want to call it descriptive name, right? Claims. Let's call it claims dashboard. Okay. Now in the same folder, you might have only one dashboard with the same name. Okay. So I called it claim dashboard. I'm gonna click on save. It's saved in the my content, right? What do I see in here? Take a look at this. What is this? I'm using what this data set. This is the calculation. Do you remember? We created standalone calculation. What is this? This is the data, claims and weather data, right? Okay, so remember, this is what the selectable filter that I can turn on and off anytime. Remember, we have the data groups that we created, right? We have our columns. And remember, this icon tells you the column type. Okay, remember that? So this is what you see. What do you see here? This is the first tab. Okay, this is the first tab. That's the filters area. This can be collapsed and expanded. Collapse and expanded. Okay. Now, so what we're gonna do? What we're gonna do next? So I talked about that, right? This is a dashboard interface. I talked to you about that, right? And another thing is this here. This will show you the preview of data. You might be wondering, where is my data? You can click here. In a moment, it just shows you the preview of all data that is being that you have here in the data module, right? So now we're gonna look at the. Okay, so I have one tab at the moment, right? I can add another tab. Just by clicking here. It's gonna add another tab. Do I have to keep the same layout? No, but I just keep. Okay. At any time, if I don't like the layout, what I can do is I can click here, change template. Okay, and I can select different templates at any time. If I don't like the layout, I can select different templates. So I have two tabs, tab 1, tab 2, right? Now we can look at properties. See here, this is properties. What properties I see depend on what I have selected. This is the general properties of the tab, right? So here I can choose the color, right? If I want to, but for the tabs, see this, what I can do is I can change the title color. I want the title color to be red. That's the title of this, right? Then I can do the selection of the data. The title select is going to show the green line, right? So this is just the properties of the page. I want to show the grid, I want to stop the grid, etc. Okay, I can change the colors if I want to. So this is just for you to play around. Okay, this is for you, but you know that these properties are here. This is just for the tab. Okay, I have not done anything much yet. I just talked about the tab properties so far. Now, there are multiple ways to add visualization. Okay, so First of all, let's save this. You see, it's not saved. You might be wondering, you did a lot of work for the last assignment. How am I going to reuse the work that I did for last assignment here? Well, this is what you're gonna do. You can go back. Well, I have to go back to the welcome page. This is the exploration, right? I recently opened it. It's gonna show up here because I recently opened it. If not, it's gonna be under my content, okay? So I'm gonna just click on it. It's supposed to open the exploration. Those are the what? The cards, right? So I want to reuse this visualization. So this is a bar chart, right? So see here, this is a little bit more advanced. Each bar is going to show vehicle class. The bar length is income, average income of an owner, perhaps. And here, I just want to show a separate bar for each state code. I like this visualization. I want to use it in my dashboard. What can I do here? Do you see this? This is called the pin. Pin is nothing but the bookmark, and I created a video on how to search pins. Okay, so see this? I'm gonna add. It says processing pins. So what I need, I go here, my pins, and my visualization is here. See this? And I have other visualizations also. Okay, I have this customer map, etc. I added before, but here is the thing. If you delete the data that was used to create visualization, that's it. The pin will be invalid. You have to be very careful. If you delete the data, the pin that you created from that data will be invalid. So some of this might be invalid. Okay, so I just created a fresh one, right? Now let's go back more. I can add more, right? If I want to. So see this, that's total claim amount by vehicle class, right? I can bookmark that one too. There we go. It's processing pin. These pins are accessible everywhere. If I create another exploration, I'll see them. If I create another dashboard, I'll see them. Now, I want to go back to my dashboard. Am I gonna use the browser back button? No. What am I gonna do instead? I click here. This is the file that is open. Okay. I go back here. How do I reuse the pinned visualization? I go here to my pins. Okay, see that? I just drag and drop. Nice. I just drag and drop. Easy. Let's see if I can use this one. Probably not. Huh? Yep, it's still working. See this? Customers, number of customers across the state. It's still working. I pinned it and it works. I can reuse it. I may have done it long time ago, but you know, that's a cross-tab visualization. Let's see if that still works. Yes, it does. See this? It's a total claim amount by average claim amount by the policy type. Okay. See that? I can do that. And I can right? So that's just by pins. What else I can do? I can create what brand new visualization. How do I do that? Well, I can go here. This is a library of visualization, right? So let's use another tab and I can create a pie chart. I can drag and drop the pie chart and you have to specify, remember, what is this? This is called what? Data slots. If you see this little star, right, it means you must specify a column here to see visualization, right? If the column is not specified, you can't see anything. Now, what am I going to specify in here? Segment. I want to use the state, right? So I'm going to do the state code, perhaps. Each segment is going to be the state. And the size, I want to have a number of customers. but I'm going to drag and drop the customer. Why? Because the data, how the data is being summarized, it's a count, right? Jesus, I can click here and I can see summarize. It's going to show me how the data is being summarized. It's count distinct. So it's going to, this pie chart shows the number of customers in a state. But remember the purpose of the pie chart, right? The pie chart shows the relative count, right? So what I can do, I can make some changes here. I selected this visualization. I selected what? Properties, okay? Now, I can change how my chart looks like. I want to display the percentages because the purpose of the pie chart is to show what the percentage, right? I want to show percentages instead of showing the actual counts, okay? I can do contrast label color if I want to. I can add the shadow, etc. Here, I like it looking like a donut. I can change that, okay? I want to keep my labels, okay? So this is basically changes what? The appearance. It changes the pie chart appearance. Here, it changes what I'm showing, okay? Here, you select the column you want to show, right? And again, am I saving the work right now? No. You have to keep saving. What happens if I lose power? What happens if I get disconnected? I'm gonna lose the work, right? So you have to save the work. Okay? So this is just the by state, the percentage of people by state, right? There are more ways to add visualizations. You can use the assistant. Do you remember this guy here? There is a whole video about this guy. So when I type the word data, it's going to show me data I have access to, right? So when I go to this data module, it's going to show me the columns I have in data module, right? So I can just click on the column. Remember, it's going to show me more information about the column. And here I can look at what influences total claim amount, right? Then I can click on perhaps vehicle size. It's going to give me some visualizations. See? So the idea is I can take some of my visualizations here and I can drag and drop to my here. I can drag and drop here. See this? I can drag and drop. Then I can click here. I can select the properties, right? At a moment, it's blue. I can change color. Remember, I can change how it looks like. So I selected this purple. Okay. Yep. You have assistant. It's a time saver. Correct. Correct. See that? You can do that, right? Or if you don't like the columns, you can change the colors. You see, you can click here and you can change which columns you want to use, right? Like, see, vehicle size, I can choose something different, right? Just drag and drop different column. Yeah. Well, the idea behind the assistant is that maybe I can ask my questions in natural language and see what visualization it gives me. Okay. So yes, you have this little friend. It's available. And all of this that you do here, all of this stuff here, right? It also will be visible in, if I go to data exploration, I can see what I searched for. And I have a video on this, right? See this? Show chart, total claim amount, and vehicle size. I can type something like that too, but different columns. And it will show different visualizations. See that? I can select different visualizations here. See?
Elena, there's a question in chat.
Oh, let me take a look. Take a look. Okay, is there a way to what? Is there a way to normalize the colors of my tab? For instance, oh, they use the same, right? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, the question is if I can use a separate color. Well, Oh, you mean for the top? For the top? At the moment, I don't see it. But see here, top, you have to use the same. There is no way. Let's look at the advanced. So see, this it's gonna be the same color for all tabs, unfortunately. The same color. But when I click on advanced, oh, color consistency, let's try that. I turned it off. Oops. Nope. That's not gonna do it, right? See this? I turned it off. Let's see. Ooh. Nope. That's not a good idea. So I'm gonna select it back on. Okay. Nope. No way. At the moment. So okay. Well, no. That's interesting. That's interesting. Yeah, assistant is a time saver. Exactly. See this? You can just drag and drop. There are different visualizations. And take a look at this. Show related visualizations. Uh-huh. You see that? Do you see that? And even more related visualizations. See that? So I can just go ahead. I can just drag and drop. See this? Okay. And I can repeat the commands. See this? I can click here, click enter, and I can repeat them. And you see this if you go to another one. Data cache? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, this one. Oh, this is basically, let's see. Oh, it's caching the data that you recently looked on. It's trying to pull from the cache. That's what it is. I can turn it off, or I just put automatic. Okay, it's data that you looked at, I think. Okay, I'll have to look that up. But I think it's kind of like trying to pull from the cache. It's caching the data that you looked at. Oh, another thing is look, I selected this visualization, click here, this showing me the data that is being visualized, okay? Isn't that neat? Okay, it shows the data being visualized. There is a lot of stuff. And in fact, today I ran into something that I have not seen before. Well, okay, so there is a lot. The best way to learn it is to do what? Practice, right? So I have to look at this. Like it's probably caching the data that you looked at instead of like going back to the database where it's stored, gonna put in a cache. Okay, so see that? Basically, see that you can do a lot with this stuff. You won't even imagine what you can do here. So it takes a lot of what do you call this? Not patience, but well, a lot of time, a lot of practice, you know. And see here, I click more. There are even more columns in here, right? There are more. You can click on almost anything and just drag and drop. And you can change columns. You can change colors, how things appear, etc. Okay? So we talked about this. Right? There are different ways. You might also duplicate visualization and edit, right? You can make a copy of the visualization. Like, see this one? I can copy it, right? Or this one. There is an option to duplicate. Okay? Duplicate. See that? So that created a copy. I can take a copy, drag it here, and I can edit it. Like, for example, see that it's showing what is showing right now? The vehicle size. I can remove that and I can put the policy type and I can use the group. Remember, we created the data group. Is that I can do that? See, very easy, right? Or I can also remove that and I can put the state, right? Drag and drop state. There we go. See, easy, right? And if I don't like the color, I can change it too. Here it is, properties. And if I don't like this color, I can choose another color, okay? Just showing you, you can use any color you like, but I just show you what you can do, okay? And of course, on your own, right, you're gonna explore different properties for different visualizations, okay? So you just know it. The main difference between what we did last time and today is you can change how visualizations appear. You also have widgets, okay? So, and I created a video about the widgets. So those are the text, right? I can just drag and drop, and I can enter something like this, right? So this is just the text, and the text has properties. I can specify the properties in the text bar, okay? Right, so that's a text bar, and I can change the text size, right? I can change the text size here. I can make it bold, I can make it italic, etc. And the same properties are available here, but there are more. Okay, I can change how it appears, the fill color, right? So I can do green, things like that. But one thing to remember is that when you do presentation, you want to make sure that things are readable, right? So probably, well, that's fine. You can read white on green, but you probably would not want to make white on white, right? You want to make sure. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Professor Marietta, for the link. Okay, thank you. Okay, so look here. You can change how things appear. You can add border, etc. Okay, you can add border. Well, now it's a traffic light, but that's okay. I'm just showing what you can do. Okay, and you can add images, but very important, you cannot copy and paste pictures here. Okay, you need to add image URL. You need to specify image URL. So how do we do that? I drag and drop the image here, and I have this picture here, car crash. I copy this URL, but remember the image URL needs to end with a .png or .gpg, right? So I copy and paste this whole thing, right? Yes, I like that image also. So what we can do is this. I'm going back to IBM Cognos, image link, and I paste this link, but wait a minute, it's gonna throw an error. I have to remove this stuff at the end. See this .png. You can use Google, and you search for images in Google, okay? And you just go something like find, you can right click on the image, and it's gonna say there is an option to find image, get image location, okay? And you just do, yeah. So this is a claim insurance, okay? So that's an image, okay? Now, here are my tabs, right? So we're gonna do the next topic, I think. So that's a visualization library. We're talking about that, see? That's a visualization in the focus mode where you can change which columns are being visualized, right? Just different picture, but same concept. We talked about the pie chart. Oh, and one thing I did not show you is that you can add the title. So see that, go back to our pie chart. I select the visualization. I go to general, right? Well, visualization, let's see. Is it in the legend? Now I need to look it up. Okay, so the title is in the visualization properties, right? Okay, general. Visualization properties general. Okay, so here it is. Appearance, and you can add the title, see? Appearance, fill color, border color. Oh, wait a minute. Show title. There we go. And here I can add something like percentage of customers by state. Okay? And see this is a title bar where I can modify how the text looks like, okay? I can change the text color, I can change the alignment, and etc. Okay? So that's the title. Are you gonna have time? It takes time. So I suggest starting assignment work early because you need to take your time to explore what you can do, right? Those things take time. All right. So can you do okay, guided visualization from one to another? No, but this will be in a okay. To do the guided visualization from one to another, this is gonna lead to the next topic, stories. Okay, we're gonna talk about stories where you can you go from one scene to another. Excellent question. Okay, this is gonna be on. Oh, you mean okay? You mean selecting a data point in one and it will filter the other? We're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about it too. Selecting one data point in one visualization and others will be adjusted accordingly. Yes, we're gonna talk about that too. We will. But at the moment, we just talked about the topic of properties, okay? And we talked about adding text, right? There are a lot of topics to cover. Yep. So this is adding text. Now, next one is visualizations are linked. But do you want to do this first or filters? Let's do filters first. Okay, so as I stated earlier, you can filter one tab or you can filter multiple tabs. So I have to go to fields. Let's close the properties. Let's open the filters here. Okay, so I can filter all tabs by state. Okay, so what do? I select state code, I drag and drop here. Then I select what state I want to see. Right, I want to see Kansas and Missouri. I click OK. What's gonna happen right now? All of my states should be all my visualization should be filtered. Not sure why this one is not. Oh, okay, it should filter all tabs. See that? Not sure why it's not refreshing. Maybe because I do something. But it should filter all visualizations but the same state. Okay? Maybe, well, what did I do? I did something stupid. Sorry about that. But it should filter all states. See this? It should all visualizations should filter by the state. See this? I'm showing only two states that I selected. Okay? Well, there is nothing on tab 3 to filter, but the filter applies to all tabs, and I selected only two states. Not sure why this one is not filtering. It should be. Oh, I'll tell you why. Do you know why? Let me explain you why. Because probably I use a different data source for this. I may have used different data modules. See? So the visualization should come from the same source, remember? Okay, so here it is. See this? It filters all tabs. Now what I'll do, I'm gonna delete this, right? And I can drag and drop this filter, state code here. I drag and drop and I select only Iowa. Click OK. All visualizations show the Iowa, right? But what's going on here? Why do I see all states in this one? Because what happened? Well, because I only filter in one tab. See, there is no filter here. There's only filter here. Okay. And see here, delete filter will delete the filter. Okay. Or you can also add a filter to canvas where you can select states. Okay. I have not seen that option before, just saw it. All right. Okay. Excellent. Yes, that affects only one tab. Excellent. Okay, so let's save that. Now, relationships among visualizations. For that, I have a separate visualization. So let's go back to home page, and I created another dashboard just to show that. My content, this one, connection demo. Let's take a look at this. So what do I have in here? The first one here just lists the states. This is a total claim amount by vehicle, right? But it's including all states. Here, the same thing, right? The visualizations are the same. All four. All of this use the same data set, use the same data module. Okay. Now what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna select Oklahoma here. All visualizations are filtered by Oklahoma. See this? Why? Because the visualizations are connected. Okay. I select the data point in one, and all visualizations that I have are adjusted for that data point, was Oklahoma. Okay. I'm gonna select Missouri, and all visualizations are adjusted for Missouri. But I can break this relationship. Take a look at this. This is a view widget connections, right? And all of them belong to the same group, right? Belong to the same. I can break it. I can select this one. Oops, not sure why things are not working today as they should. Oh, I'll tell you why. Do you know why? Because the dashboard has two modes. I'm in a view mode. I need to be in edit mode. See this? It's because I have to go to the edit mode. I have to click on this pencil. See? That's why it was not working as expected. So now I see it. See this? I click here. It shows me widget connections, right? All widgets are related. See this one? It means group one. Now I can break it. I can click here and I can say create new connection. I click here, and what I want to do, I want to add this to the second connection. There we go. Now unclick this. Look at what's gonna happen. I broke the connections. So here I select Missouri. In here, Missouri is not selected. I can select Iowa. So see that? One reason you want to do it is sometimes you want to compare. You want to compare the one state, right, with another. See, I want to compare the total claim amount by vehicle class for Missouri with total claim by vehicle class for Iowa, right? So that's one reason I could break the connections. But in general, you select one data point, and the same data point will be selected in visualizations if they use the same data. Only if they use the same data, okay? And if I don't like it anymore, I can click here again, right? Select this visualization, go to add to existing connection, reconnect one, and click here, go here, and reconnect to one, right? So now the visualizations are connected again. And click, see this? I select Nebraska, right? And it's gonna select the same state here, okay? So just know this. This is a topic about the connections. But here I'm using different visualizations, but the idea is the same. And you can break the links, okay? Right, but remember, the dashboard must be in edit mode, okay? So basically you select something in one visualization and the same data point is selected in the other, okay? Now, as you mentioned before, it's not possible to navigate between show one visualization, then show the other, right? It's not possible to define in which order visualizations appear and for how long each visualization displayed, right? It is going to take us to the new topic, stories. But before we do that, what I did was I prepared another dashboard for this demo. So let's go here to the home page, right? We're not using browser back and forth buttons. We're gonna go to the home page. We're gonna go to my content, and I have created a nice dashboard. Let's see, this. So that's it. This one, claims dashboard. Claims dashboard. Nope, that's not it. Sorry. And I go home, go back to home. So see, basically, when you have a lot of stuff, sometimes you don't remember how you save things. You can filter by date, right? You can filter. Oh, it's in a. It's in. 1 second. Give me a minute. Oh, this is here. No, 1 second. Give me guys a minute. This is what I can do. I can filter this, and I can only show dashboards. Look, I can only show dashboards, and that's gonna be much easier. See this? I can filter this to show only dashboards, and it's in here. See? Okay, and I reuse this picture here. Okay, so what do we have in here? I intentionally number tabs. I intentionally put the tab number. Okay, see this number one? It's a title page. I call it title page. See? And here I just played around with the properties, right? This is nothing but the text. And I played around with the properties. This is how text looks like. This is the average total claim amount, right? And I'm just showing it by different, by claim reason, by policy, etc. So that's the second tab. This is the third tab. I just show percentages by state, by vehicle class, etc. Right? This is what? This was my assignment 3, right? I created my data module. I created my decision tree. This was my assignment 3. I just pretend to be a student, Professor Moretta's student, perhaps. Okay, so I did this. I did this for my assignment 3. This is just the average claim amount by location. I played around with this. I went crazy with this. See that? Like, I have to be in a edit mode, right? So what I did here, this is just different visualization. Is it? What I did here, I just specified that I want to show the state. I want to show the customer, right? Number of customers, and I want to color it by employment status. Okay? So I just went a little bit more advanced in here, okay? Here I just color it by education. See? So that's a bar chart, different bar charts. Let's switch out. I don't want to make any changes. This is a view mode, right? So I have this dashboard. Now, but unfortunately, there is no way to define the navigation, right? It's not possible to specify if I want to see this. I've got 4 visualizations. Maybe I want to see the first one for 5 seconds and I want to see the second one for 10 seconds. There is no way to do this here, right? So that's going to lead us to another topic. Another topic is going to call what? Stories. Story is an overtime narrative. Well, somewhat it's similar to the PowerPoint presentation. You present the insight without exporting visualizations from the application. Okay? You may configure when things are visible, when things are not visible. And again, you may add visualizations, you may add shapes, images, etc. Okay? But, well, you can select a brand new story just by selecting new from the bottom menu and new story and specifying the data. But I'm going to show you how to cheat for your assignment 4. This is what you're going to do only when your dashboard is ready, right? And plan carefully in the order where things are. Okay, only when it's ready. You're going to do this. You're going to click here and you're going to do what? Save as a story. Okay, for right now, I'm going to select the slideshow. And I'm going to click on select. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to save it. And where do I have to save it? My content. By default, the name is going to be story, right? And then it's going to say whatever name is of my dashboard. This is editable, okay? Now I want to open after saving, of course. Let's click save. Remember the numbering. I left it for a reason, right? So when I click here, see, this is scenes. The story consists of a scenes. Each tab in my dashboard will become a scene in the story, okay? So here are my scenes. And I can add another one if I want to, right? I can add. And at the moment, it's just doing the preview of the scene, okay? But I can change when things appear, disappear. Do you see these 4 plots in here? We're gonna change now. Each scene has something called the timeline. Click here. Oops, I need to be in the edit mode, right? Am I in the edit mode? Yes, I am right now. So what do you see here? First of all, let's look at what you see. I forgot, I should have told you what you see here. See this, what is this? Again, this is data, right? You see different columns. Icon stands for column data type. This is a filter that you can reuse, selectable filter. Remember, you've got your calculations. All of this is here, okay? But if I did not name this filter descriptively, there is no way to see what the hell is doing without going back to data module where I define it. So you have to use descriptive names, remember that. You can also apply filters, right? You can apply filter to all scene, you can apply filter to the single scene, right? So similar, you can add new visualizations, you can add pin visualizations, you have this assistant here too. It's there for you. But what you have not seen is this. It's each story has a timeline, right? Oh, this is how you access this. See here, click here, it will open the timeline. Look, at the moment, the scene is 5 seconds long. All objects appear throughout the whole duration, right? Each object, in this case there are 4, it has a little bar. It has a bar for each object. I can drag and drop this to specify when it becomes visible. So see this is one of these visualizations, and I wanted to show only after the first 2 seconds, right? One of the charts, I want to show it after the first 2 seconds. Another chart, I only show it for the 4 seconds. Then I can also change the scene duration. To do that, you just drag this bar here, very easy, right? I can change how long my scene is. I just drag this bar, okay? So when I preview this scene, it's gonna show what do I expect, right? Well, first of all, let's close this, right? So that's my scene. Oh, you can also close the filters area, right? So here you just specify when you see things, but I just don't like, I may have done something wrong. Hold on. Okay, so I've got 4 objects, right? I specify when they're visible. And then when I preview this scene, I'm gonna see the objects whenever I specify that they should display, right? Okay. Well, not sure why. Sometimes things don't listen, so you have to play around. Let's do it like this. I want to show it after the 4th second, right? And the others I want to see the whole time. Okay. Oh, the time right now starts from 5. Oh, excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's because this is here. Thank you. That's the reason why. Excellent. So I can go this, and I can just do this. Excellent. See? Thank you for catching it. See? Sometimes, it's good to have another set of eyes, right? So here it is. And I can play it. I can preview. See this? Appears. That thing will disappear, and this two will appear the whole time. So see? You play it. You hit play. Okay? Now let's take a look at this. There are 2. Okay, I'll get back to how to do the new. There are 2 types, slideshow and guided journey. Slideshow, each scene appears on a different canvas. Guided journey, the scenes are on the same canvas. And I will show you the difference now. So see this? I can go back to my scenes. I selected this, right? And then to play, I want to do play all scenes, right? I can do play all scenes. And I need to be in the preview mode. And when I play, see what happens. It's just gonna go, it's the same canvas, right? It's just gonna go to the next page, right? Like this. I did not specify the transitions yet. Okay? I did not specify, but I will. Okay? So I'll go back to the edit mode and I'm gonna change the transitions now. So here, this is what properties, right? I can do, see the slideshow, I can change the transitions, the sweep perhaps, right? So let's see what this is gonna do. I have to save this and gonna go back to the what? View mode, right? And then you have to go back to the first thing, right? So previous, oh, I can go back like this. Previous, I want to go back to previous, right? But you see what happens? You see how things are. So now it's gonna go back to the next thing and you see the transition. Do you see? You can specify the transition type. Do you see that? So here, this is the visibility still placed, and this is the transition type that I selected, okay? Alternatively, I can select the guided journey. And I would use the guided journey for the purpose of submission because I'll show you something. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to properties and I'm gonna do the guided journey instead, right? So with the guided journey, the very first page, right? So you should be able to see all of this. So, oh, guided journey, sorry. And then I need to select the layout. I can do like this one. Okay, so with this, the very first slide here shows all things. The very first one here shows all things. So for the purpose of the assignment submission, I would take a screenshot like this and submit it. You may want to adjust the zoom settings, okay? You may want to play around with the zoom, but you want to show the screenshot like this, so it shows that you created a story, okay? That's what I would have done it, but you know, you may have different ideas from me, but this is one way to show that you created a story, okay? So here are all my scenes. Here I'm using the visibility. I specify when I want to show stuff, you know. You probably need to do some explanation, okay? And you can play around with the settings here with the zoom, okay? But this is what I would have done it if I was going to submit proof that I did the story, okay? Again, you go back. This is edit right now, I think. So you go back to the properties and you can specify, so this is a guided journey. You can specify if you want to see all of this at the start and all of this at the end. But if you go to the preview mode and if you play all scenes, you're gonna see the difference between, you see the difference between the slides and the guided journey. Do you see the difference? It's a different canvas. Each scene is using different canvas. See? Slides. But I can select a different layout if I want to. Well, you're gonna play with this, right? And of course, you can also add new scenes. And if you add a new scene, you just go like this. See this? This will add a new scene and you can select the template. See? You select the template and you play around. This is a lot of, wait, how can you submit the story? Exactly what I was just showing you. Exactly what I was just showing. So let's delete this, or I can undo this, right? This is, I can undo this one. Okay, see this? The very first page, shows all scenes. See this? The very first page shows all scenes. So I can do this. Do you see this? You take a screenshot. So to take a screenshot, there's a tool called the snipping tool, right? In the Windows, I'm not sure much about the Mac if you use Mac, but in the Windows, I can go. I love the snipping tool. I can go new, and I can go like this, right? And it's gonna take a screenshot. See this? This is a screenshot. Oops. In the snipping tool, you have a screenshot, and then you paste the screenshot to your paper. Okay, so that's one way. Okay, no worries. Okay, so that's one way. But you might have different ways. One of you picked up why things were not showing what I was expecting to see, right? So that's a thing. Okay, so that's a story temp transitions. This is just showing that a string contains objects, and you can add the whole thing from scratch. But for assignment 4, I showed you the cheat way, right? But if you don't have anything, right, what you could do, you could go to the home page, you could go to new, right? You can select the story, but then, well, it doesn't matter, I can just select. But then what you have to do is you have to specify the source. What is the source? This is the data that you use for this, right? And I'm selecting the data module. I'm gonna go add, and I would have to do the whole thing from scratch. Keep adding the things, defining layouts, adding visualizations, but do you really want to do it this way? Well, I would probably do the dashboard and have something to start with, then do it from scratch, okay? Honestly, I have not done it from scratch, but you can do it, It's up to you. So let's close this. I don't want to save this. Close without saving, but I'm showing you can do it from scratch, right? But again, this is all up to you. People are different. People do things differently, right? See this, so that's the thing. I can select this and I can play around with visibilities and etc. Right? Zoom to fit. Oh, so see, there are so many things in here that I have not really paid attention much. And so you can define the filters here, close the filter area. Wow, there are a lot of stuff that you can do and take time. Those things take time. And one way to learn it is just by trial and error. You can, if you're afraid to mess up, you can save a copy of the file, right? You can do save it as a copy. You know what I'm saying? And I have a video where I'm showing more details, the timeline. Okay, this is just how to save it as a story. This is just a cheating. You save it as a story, okay? Now, another thing is, it just shows you the correspondence here. Each tab in the dashboard becomes a story, but one thing remember, if you go back to your dashboard, if you make changes, those changes will not propagate to the story, okay? That's why I said first, you want to do the dashboard. Make sure it's done, because the changes you make to the dashboard afterwards will not propagate to the story, okay? Yes, the story is more than the dashboard, but this is the way you can export the dashboard to the story. It will save you a lot of time on assignment 4, okay, and maybe on the group assignment 2, okay? There are some samples here. This is not what you're going to turn in for the grade, but this is here in the team content. In the team content, you remember you have this called samples, and there are some sample dashboards that you can look at. Well, sometimes, you're trying to see, what can I do? What are some ideas? You know what I'm saying? So I can look at California website visits, for example. That's a dashboard, and I can preview it. You have a run permission for this folder. So it means that you can actually preview all the stories and you can preview all of the dashboards. You cannot make any changes. If you want to play around, you would have to save a copy to your personal folder, right? If you want to play around with existing dashboard, you would have to save a copy to your personal to my content, okay? But this is just for you to explore, see? You can select a location and make other visualizations to be adjusted for that location, and etc. See? You can, so there are different visualizations, website visits by latitude, etc. See? So you can just open up. Well, it shows that you made changes, but you won't be able to save it because your privileges are the same as privileges on this demo, okay? You won't be able to make changes. It will throw an error, all right? So basically in the team content, you've got the samples, you've got sample dashboard, you've got sample stories. Sometimes it helps to look at the samples, okay? This is like valuable customers, and I can preview this, see? So that's a story. I can preview, right? It's gonna show the different, see? Do you see this? This is a text. Is I probably specify when they want the text to appear. See this? So see this? The text appears first and this stuff appears, you know, and you can click on stuff too. Oops. Oh, see? See this? You can filter it. You're not making changes. It just preview, and it's in a preview mode. You cannot actually edit this. See? So let's close this out. Close without saving. You won't be able to save it. Okay, if you want to actually play with this, you have to make a copy, you know, and save it in my content. But this is a team content. Let's go back. Let's go back to here. Okay. Now, what's gonna happen? Assignment 5. At the end of week 9, you're gonna be assigned in the groups, and you're gonna see it in the classroom. And your instructor is gonna send me your group assignments. I'm going to create the shared group folders, right, accordingly. Each team is gonna have one folder. Okay, so how do you access your folder? Just say, just make an example, just an example. I'm taking Professor Moreto's session 9040, and she put me in the team 1. So what's gonna happen? You're gonna go to team content, you're gonna see this folder. You don't see it right now, but at that time, when the time comes, you're gonna see this folder called assignment 5 group work, okay? At the moment, suppose that I'm a student and I was placed in that group. I can click here, right? This is my enrollment semester. Now it's summer. And this is my team 1. Okay, this is my folder for my group. Okay, I'm not gonna see team 2 because I'm not a member of team 2, right? I'm not gonna see any teams for session 9041 because I'm not enrolled in 9041. And unless you're repeating the course, you're not gonna see the past semesters. If you are repeating the course, you might see the folder from the last semester when you took the course, if you were placed in a group. I don't delete anything. I do not disable the accounts. I don't do anything like that. I let you have access to anything that you have done, okay? So this is the current semester, see? But how you going to approach this assignment? You have a team, right? You're in team. In each team, I suggest that you select a leader, okay? Then as a group, what you're gonna do is you're gonna look, there is data, right, for assignments. You're gonna click on assignment 5. Assignment 5, there are 5 choices. You have 5 choices for data set. If you want to go for a challenge, the last 2 have missing values, okay? And this is the actual data. US News, it's a data on, the target is to predict, the goal is to predict the college graduation rate, okay? And that's life expectancy data. There are some missing values. The other 3 don't have missing values, but if you want to go for a challenge, these 2 are great, okay? But this a little bit, you know, less challenging, but I cannot say that because each data set has different challenges when you start working on it, okay? Yes, that's a new data set, correct. For assignment 5, it's a new data set. You're gonna be working in groups. As a group decides, then each group has a team leader. The team leader, what will do this. Look, you have to copy this file that you're gonna use, right? Suppose that my team decided to use cars data and I'm a leader. What I will do is I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna do this, copy or move, right? This time I'm gonna select team content, right? And I'm gonna click back to the team content. This is assignment 5 group work, summer, right? I'm taking this course in the summer, and this is my folder. See, this is my session and the team name. See this? And I'm gonna go copy. You cannot move to because you don't have right permissions for that team, for that folder. For that specific folder, you don't have right permissions. You only have right permissions for the folder for your group, okay? So you're gonna go copy, okay? Now, how do I know that it was copied? How do I know? I'm gonna go here, assignment 5 group work. I'm gonna go to my folder and I see the file. Next thing, what you're gonna do, the team leader will do this. You're gonna go create data module, right? And you're gonna save it as what cars data module. And you want to save it where? In a team content. Why? Because if you save it in your content, your teammate won't be able to see it. So right now, from that moment, right, you're gonna be using what? The team folder. See, you're gonna be using the team folder. And you can save something like cars data module, right? Okay. Now, another thing is that you can share files, but only one person may edit the file at the same time. When you're done, you want to save the work and close it. Very important. Okay. Who chooses? You can choose as a team. Okay. There are 5 data sets. You have 5 choices. As a team, you're gonna meet and you choose one. But the team leader is gonna make a copy. You're gonna make a copy. But well, who chooses? You choose as a team. Okay, you have to come to an agreement. All right. There are 5 data sets, and I'll show you where they're located. Right. So you choose 1 out of 5. Okay. This is cars data. Well, in some data sets you have multiple options. In the cars data, well, you can predict you can predict the car efficiency on a highway, and you can predict the car efficiency on a city road. Okay, you can also see this highway, or you can predict the horsepower. There are several options in here. If you use car data, you can predict the highway car efficiency, so it means how many miles per gallon the car consumes on a highway, right? You can also predict the car horsepower, and I believe there is a column for the city roads. Okay, so there are several options in here, but as a team you have to agree. Okay, this is a city roads miles per gallon. So in some you have options. Okay, you look at the data set, you agree to which one you want to use. But for some, there are multiple options. Cars data, you can select what you want. Do you want the city roads mile efficiency? Do you want to look at highway? You know what I'm saying? You can see here, or you can predict the horsepower. There are 3 options here, right? So you choose the options that you want to do, right? So that's a cars data module. Remember this, you have to close this. Before you, very important, before you exit the session, you have to close it. Because when 2 people try to edit the same file at the same time, it's a mess. You don't want to know what's gonna happen. You don't want to test it. So right now I'm logged in as demo 2, right? And if you look at this here, right? If you look at this here, and it's in I think it's in my preferences, and it's in advanced. It's gonna show you your groups. See in here, it's gonna show you the groups that you're member of. In this case, well, this is just everyone who can log into Cognos. This one just lets you log into Cognos. This is the team that you are on. See this? Data 610. This is your enrollment semester, your session, and group number. This is a naming convention that I use when I created the group. This is not the folder name. This is a group. Okay? The groups are defined, and then I assign you to the group. And based on your group assignment, you will see the folder for your group, okay? So, and everyone, this is everybody in data 610, and this one lets you see the samples, right? It lets you see the team content folder overall as a whole, okay? And analysis users is a role that you have. Okay, well, that's something that I set up before we started doing this, okay? Now, so don't worry about the details, but if you believe that you are in the wrong group, that's another way to check that you're in correct groups. And your instructor has access to all groups in your class, okay? The instructors has access to all of them, all groups. And also the TA, right, is gonna have access to all groups in a semester. I'll do that. So I have to basically add the instructor and the TA to the group. And you can be a member of multiple groups, okay? In general. All right? Because some of you might be thinking, oh, I'm repeating the class. There are several who are. Well, you know, you're going to still see the group from last semester and you're going to see the group from this semester. You have to make sure you choose the correct semester. Because, you know, I don't delete anything. If you want to reuse some of your work, you know, it's up to instructor, but you can see it, you know, I don't delete anything here. Okay, so that's about the groups. And another thing that you have to do is you will have to, oh, I have not showed you what I mean by share. To see this, so now I'm gonna log out, right? So you see this, it's a team content, right? You see this, it's in your folder. You see these two files, right? And I'm just gonna, this is demo 2, I'm gonna sign out and I'm gonna log in as a demo 3, right? I'm gonna log in as another user in this group. Trust me, in the configuration, I set them to the same group, okay? Okay, trust me, it's set up in the same group. Okay, so that's demo 3. Now let's go back to the team content. Do you see this? This is assignment 5 group work. Do you see this? The same folder, the same team? And I see these two files that my group member edit, right? So now what I can do, let's say I can do, let's just do create exploration, right? I create an exploration and I'm just gonna do something. So see this? Do you see this? It gives me the city MPG is a target, but you can also do highway MPG or you can do the horsepower, but it does not matter. But what I'm trying to see here is that I'm trying to show you that you can do something like this, right? Driver analysis. Now what I can do, I'll save it and I just want to see that it's visible. Yes, all authenticated users, that's accurate, that's right. Okay, all at the moment, you're a member of everyone and all authenticated users, okay? Everyone lets you see the shared files in a team folder, okay? Because at the moment, Professor Moreta has not set up the groups in the classroom, okay? Okay, so yes, so this is just driver analysis. I just did it, I just did it, okay? So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna save it. I'm just trying to show what I mean by sharing files. I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna do save as, but where do I have to save it? Not in personal area. I have to save it where? In the team content. See this? See this? Right? And we're gonna do something like parse exploration, right? Okay, I'm gonna go save it. So this is a cars exploration, right? There we go. Now what I'm gonna do, I have to do what? Before I log out, I have to do what? Close it, right? Okay, I close it. Easy? Okay. Now, what else? See this? It's the same group. I'm showing you here. I can show you here. I'm not gonna go to the admin side, but I'll show you this. Either this is advanced, and I'm gonna see the groups. See, that's the same group, right? See this? Now, okay, makes sense. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna sign out and I'm gonna go back to demo 2. And demo 2 should be able to see what I just did, okay? But you have to make sure that you save, that you close the file, okay? So see this, I'm gonna go back to the team content. I'm gonna go back to the folder. What I expect to see, I expect to see the data module and data exploration, okay? There we go. Do you see cars exploration? Another thing that you will have to do is you will have to create a video. One way to do it is to use Zoom, okay? So pick another person in a group who's gonna create a free Zoom account, okay? Free Zoom account. Then to do the recording, you kind of like schedule a meeting with yourself, right? And when the meeting is over, you're gonna see the recordings. So let's see, let's go here and I'm gonna go to my Zoom account. I'm gonna go to my Zoom account, my university account. So when you did the recording, it's gonna show up in your recordings, okay? Like for example, see this, I did the session on, this was a data 650 session on the Spark libraries. So I did that and there is a recording here. So what you could do is you can click on a share and this is gonna give me the recording link and a passcode, right? So what you need to do is you need to copy this link and a passcode when you submit the assignment, okay? Jesus, you click on this I, it's gonna show the passcode. You have to submit, when you submit the link to the recording, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna show this shared link and you're gonna show this, you're gonna submit this passcode too, okay? All right, because when the instructor views this, she'll be asked for the passcode, okay? This is what you can do. You do not need to upload the videos to YouTube. I know some people are uncomfortable with that. So you can just do, you can go to your Zoom account, right? There is a free Zoom account, but you're limited to 40 minutes at a time, but nobody's recording is gonna be 40 minutes. If it's 40 minutes long, then it's too much. I would say 10 minutes, okay? No more than 15 minutes. All right? So you would click on share, and this is what you see. See, this is just the recordings, where the recordings are on my Zoom account. Okay? Well, this is, say, practice and recording. This is current sessions that we have now. Maybe like an hour after the session is over, the recording will be available. And this is available to download, see? There are 4 files in this case, so I download. And, you know, I'm a pack rat, I don't delete things unless I really have to. So I have all of these recordings, okay, from past semesters. I have them all, okay? So basically, you're gonna go, one of you will create a Zoom account and you will use that to record. You schedule a meeting with yourself, right? You would just go to the meeting and you're gonna do the schedule, right? You're gonna click on schedule meeting and schedule with yourself, okay? So like, see, it's gonna show up here, like I have something tomorrow. I'm doing tomorrow for 6:50, okay? So you do that, see? And then you're just gonna go, whenever you're ready, you're gonna go start, you know, and you record, okay? I hope it makes sense, right? This is what you have to do for your assignment 5. You have to do the recording, and I showed you how to do that. This is just where to access the folder. This screenshot was taken a while ago, but still same concept, okay? Still same, how to copy, etc. But I have to put, well, no, somebody does it. Somebody does it. Well, not recently, but it happened. Very sad story. The student accidentally deleted the data. What I'm saying here, if I go to this here, if I delete this data, this exploration will become invalid. Unfortunately, there is no way to recover it, okay? There is no way to fix it. Yes, it's sad, but it did happen, but since goodness, the student took screenshots, okay? So this is original data. do not delete that also, because this data module is pointing to this data. This exploration is pointing to this data module, which in turn points to that data. There are dependencies. If you delete something, you know. So just be careful, okay? You just need to be careful, and that's it. Yes, always save, exactly. And you save. If you believe you don't need something, you create a folder. You can create a folder called recycle or called trash and move it to that folder. Every time when you decide, oh no, I need it, then you can just move it back, you know. So yeah, you can back up too. You can save a copy to your you can save a copy of this to your personal folder, sure. But what you share with your team must be saved in the team content, okay? But I do recommend you select the team leader who will do the copying, then select another person who will be responsible, who will create Zoom account. You may speak, one person may choose to speak, or several, but if several, keep in mind the transitions. Work on the transitions, and you may need to record more than once, trust me. You I wish I could disable the delete button. Yes, that would be nice. But anyways, okay, so yeah, so you want to, but you may need to record it more than once. Trust me, you may need to record this more than once. The videos that I did, sometimes I had to record it 2 or 3 times and pick the best one. Okay. You have to watch this demo more than once as well. So okay. This is just the error. What happens if you have stuff on your recents, right? So you go, this is recent stuff, and it also shows here what you recently had opened. And if the file that you recently had opened was deleted, you're gonna see that error. I just threw it in there because I ran into that error. If I run into something, I just put it, because people run into it also. You never know. Well, this is just the bonus example where you can define, you can write case statements. Well, I know I said before that you don't need to write the code, but you can write something advanced. And I believe I have a video where I explain the details, right? So because, well, basically the income, remember, we looked at the discretization where you can bin the income column, for example, but I can also write a case statement where I say where income is less than 20K, then I want to do poverty. Then see, I have like low income, middle class, and high income. See, I can define my own calculations if I want to. I can write my own code if I choose to. Well, any questions? Your turn, guys. Questions, challenge me. I like the challenge. If I don't know the answer, I will research and get back to you. Okay? Sometimes the student question may lead to a new video because, you know, you may ask something, but it's better to do the recording to explain it, but then it will benefit the rest of the class. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a question can turn into new video. Okay? So there is anything that you want repeated or anything that you want to see again? Okay? Yes, well, yes, there is a YouTube video. One video shows how to save the, one of the videos shows how to save the dashboard to a story. Another video shows the configuration of the timeline. Does it help? Yes, there are 2 videos on the story. Yeah. And video on accessing the group folder. Okay, well, I know that it was recorded in a different semester, but the difference is a new semester. So that should be straightforward, right? But what I think is straightforward for me might not be for someone else. So you know what I'm saying, right? Okay. But at the moment, you don't see, at the moment, you're not gonna see this. Not yet. Not yet, okay? You will be told as soon as you add it to the group, you need to check to make sure that you have access and you have access to the correct folder. Once in a while, things happen and I will fix it, you know, that's easy. For me, it's easy because I've done it. So, okay. Professor Moreta, anything you would like to say?
No, no, thank you so much.
So I guess no further question. Okay, is there a way to split the data? For example, what is this? You mean showing into the columns? What do you mean? I'm trying to understand the question, Sherry. Split data in a column. Oh, you mean to split the data into two columns? Yes, you can take the yes, you can take the substring function. You would need to use the substring function, okay? Oh, I may need to create a video on that, but there are functions that allow you to take the substring, okay? So when you go to the data module, my content, right? So you have this claims and weather data module. I would have to add the new column here. And you have to add the calculation, because see this? When you add a calculation, there are functions for the string, okay? You would need to play around with string and oh, okay, sure. So I'm gonna write that down to my to-do list, okay? The video on create the substring, sure. I can do that. So this is on my to-do list. Create a video to show how to create a substring. Okay, cool. No worries, I'll do that. Okay. So maybe sometime this weekend-ish, let's see. And I will add it to the group, okay? Well, there are a lot of interesting stuff in here. You can have functions in dates and etc. Okay? Anything else I can help you with? So my homework is to create the video on the substring. Okay? Any advice on how to work with team? Well, I did not this class, but I've been doing it since it was offered almost for the first time. But in general, how to work with a teammate? Okay, well, okay, I've been taking other courses. I was a student in the UMGC. You have several options. You can use Zoom, right? You're gonna create an account anyways for the recording, so you can have a Zoom session. Why not? Huh? You can use Microsoft Teams, because your student account, your student email account has access to the application. Okay, okay. You have access to the application, and there is a Microsoft application. You can do that. You can use any other app that you think of, that you have access to meet. Okay. You can do that. Well, I would use Zoom. I like Zoom or Microsoft Teams. Okay, because Microsoft Teams is popular today too. Okay. Yeah, but I mean to work, because people are in different time zones, and you also have discussions. You may want to post. You will have a group discussion in the course content. Will be an area for the group discussion. You may want to post some stuff in there too, to just show that what you've been working at. Okay. Yes. And another thing that, remember, please submit the ticket. Do this. You want to use the form in the classroom, right? Please. I'm asking again. Use the form in the classroom. Okay. So you have this one, right? Help with technology software. You need to use this form, because if you don't follow the instructions, right, it's a big mess, because the ticketing system it's using, oops, I wanted to show you just for the demo purposes. Take a look at this. This is the cases that were created today. There are more than 2,000. There are more than 2,000 cases that were created today, and there are different case types. See this? There is overseas, there is advising, financial aid. See this? But if you split your case correctly, you're gonna go to the wrong location, and we don't have access to it. See? So please use the form in the class, and then it will go to the correct place. Yes. Those are all the tickets daily. Yes. You see that? Because this is not only for the course, there is also advising going on, etc. See this? There are also financial aids. See this? There are a lot of advising case types and etc. So it's the whole university. So see, there are more than 2,000. It just see it says 2,000 plus. Yes. So if you don't follow instructions, your case is going to be lost somewhere. Okay. So please make sure that you use the formula plus. Otherwise, it's going to be this. Okay. Yep. Exactly. Because this is going to be the case. Okay? No. I needed to show you because you need to know why you asked to do something in a certain way, right? So that's why. Okay. Because it's not going to appear in the data queue, okay? If I choose data queue, I'm not going to see all of this stuff, okay? And how am I going to go through 2,000 plus cases and to find your case? There is no way, of course. So you have to follow the instructions, please, okay? ChatGPT. I would love that, but unfortunately, they would have to configure. You would have to configure ChatGPT with this. There is no configuration at the moment, but I like that. I like the answer. I like that. All right. Anything else? Anything else I can do to help you? Well, I remember that video, but anything else other than that? No? Okay. If there are no more questions, let me see. Okay, sure. If there are no more questions, then I'm gonna stop recording and we're gonna call it a night. Okay? So I'm gonna stop recording.